Welcome everyone to Throwback Gaming's Let's Play of Our Life Beginnings and Always, Part 15. Last time we finished up the introduction to Step 2, and now we are at the moment sections where we get to pick each of the little mini episodes, kind of like what happened in Step 1. And today we'll be starting on Wave. So let's begin, shall we? The family's shopping trip had lasted most of the morning, and you still had to unload everything from the trunk before you could go enjoy the afternoon. You cradled another bag in your arms as you headed towards your house. One of the heavier bags from the grocery store, loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even half a watermelon. Who buys half a watermelon? That seems weird, but anyways. Mom came out the front door and paused just ahead of you. Need any help with that, Jamie? I can bring in the rest of the way if you want me to. Yes, please, that would be helpful. Yes, please, it's just too heavy. No, I got it, you were doing fine. No, I got it, you could manage to hold it. You eagerly agreed with the nod of your head. You needed someone else to take it. Or you didn't say anything. You could finish the job by yourself, no problem. Sure, we'll accept her help. Ma stepped forward to take the bag from your arms, and you made a quick run to get another bag. Well, that's good, we're helping out. You passed Ma again on your way back to the house, and she gave you an encouraging grin and rustled her fingers through your brown hair. You set the next bag on the counter. Your older sister began to root around the insides with the contents with a sigh. How much is left? Still a few more bags. With a huff and a puff, Elizabeth continued putting away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become the target of her bad mood. Yeah, I don't blame her though. You're like, I want to go play. I don't want to deal with groceries. Careful, Jamie. You haven't been looking where you were going, and you bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot. Gotta watch where you're going so you don't break or hurt somebody. Sorry. I can give you a pass this time, but be sure to watch where you're going. If you run into the wrong person, you might get your license revoked. That's an interesting way to put it, Mom. She grinned at the bad joke as she continued through the door. Mom jokes. Outside, Ma had started organizing what remained and put back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she took in a big breath of air, her dress gently swaying around in the breeze. It's a shame we had to spend the morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilted your head to the sky, gazing at the clear blue expanse. Yes, it is. Days like today are my favorite. It's too hot. I wish it was raining. I like it when stormy the best. We went from it's nice to dark and stormy. Yeah, we'll say days like these are my favorite. Ma smiled at you, her amber eyes glinting with affection. You and your sister are a lot awake in that way. Me too. Oh, does Mom not like pretty days? You gave her a familiar look. But eventually you turned back to help her with the last of the bags. Oh, hi, Cove. You notice Mom wave over to Cove, who just exited his front door, his surfboard propped up under one arm. Let me see. Surfboard and wetsuit. Where might you be off to on this beautiful day? Well, probably the beach. He's embarrassed. I like those colors up for the suit. Cove instantly startled, not having realized your family was also out here. Even though your mom was the one who called out to him, you were the one he looked at. That's because he likes us. He tried to settle down again. Cove stayed on his side of the driveway, giving a small wave in greeting. After a moment or two of deliberation, he jogged over to properly say hello to you and your moms. It was decidedly awkward since Cove had trouble figuring out how close to stand to you. The addition of his unwielding surfboard made the whole thing even clumsier. Careful with that thing, you'll put someone's eye out. What is this, a Christmas story? Mom chuckled and got a whispered reproach from Ma from it. She's like, stop making bad jokes. Pam, please, go easy on him. Cove winced. He wasn't a big fan of attention under normal circumstances, so this in particular made him wishing he could be invisible. Don't mind her, honey. How are you today? I'm alright. Just gonna surf. Hi, Cove. He relaxed a little when Ma spoke to him, but the rigidity all came back as soon as you said something. Hey, Jamie. He met your eyes and it almost felt like you had butterflies in your stomach. If you want to go to the beach, we could hang out later. You noticed the flush of red on his cheeks, but that might have been from the heat. Sure, I'll meet you there when I'm done. Oh yeah, we could do that. All right. Or I can't this time. Okay, let's just go with this one. Cool. He's so embarrassed. It's adorable. That must have been more enthusiastic than he intended because he immediately quieted down. You're not done unloading, right? Can I help? No. This is our job. You go enjoy the beach. Jamie can catch you as soon as he's finished here. Alright, I'll see ya. Yeah, bye for now. Cove headed down to the beach with more skip in his step than normal. It was really cute. Aw. You smiled softly to yourself, thought that you'd be joining him soon. That's adorable. He sure seemed to perk up after you agreed to meet him there. I wonder why that could be. They know what's going on. That's adorable. Aww. Now who's giving him a hard time, Lonnie? Alright, so she's Pam and she's Lonnie. That's right. Shush, it's different. I'm allowed to. Mom's face broke into an incredulous grin. In what way? I'm being supportive and he can't hear it. Mom full-on laughed that time. You're the worst of us when it comes to this, honestly. I keep trying to warn people, but they won't listen. That's adorable. I only want to help. I think it's fair to say he might need it. Meddler, but you have a point. Right? You narrowed your eyes at their teasing, and they simply chuckled conspiratorially before taking more bags to the trunk and heading inside. They're plotting. They're scheming. You already know they are. Once everything had finally been taken in and put away, you got yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. You had a surfboard in your room that you wanted to take with you. Your family had a surfboard around here somewhere, or you weren't sure what you were going to do. He was surfing, you didn't know how. Well, considering we live on the beach, we probably know how to surf. So, I don't know, do we have our own? Are we going to use our family surfboard? I don't know. I guess we'll say we have one, considering we're by the beach. We probably know how. You've been practicing your surfing more and more lately. It was always ready to go. After grabbing your board and getting everything ready, you headed down to the beach. Have fun, honey. Stay safe. Isn't that pretty? When you arrived at the shore, you were greeted by the crash of waves and the soft call of seagulls. You took in a lungful of ocean air and felt your tan skin warm in the sun. You noticed a small setup nearby with a towel, some sunscreen, and a bottle of water. It must be Cove's. Probably. You spotted Cove himself nearby. He hadn't gone out to the sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water's edge, his board propped up against him. Oh, was he waiting for us? That's so sweet. You strolled up beside him. Hey, I'm here. Jamie. He looked up at you with a smile and quickly hopped to his feet. I'm gonna go into my own soon. It kind of seemed like you weren't coming. I wouldn't have missed it. Sorry you had to wait. And stay in all day? I don't think so. I wouldn't have missed it. He chuckled slyly at your insistence. That's adorable. Okay. Then he cast his eyes out towards the waves. Cove, I'm not that good at surfing. I'm ready to get in there. Want to have a competition, or will you give me some tips? Well, it's our surfboard, so we probably know how to do it a little bit. But we might not be that good. Besides, it might be cute to have him give us tips. Cove surfed way more than you did, so you knew he'd have some good tips to help you improve. Yeah, let's get started. Oh, that's adorable. Excuse me. You tucked your board under your arm, and the two of you ran into the water together. You paddled out into the sea to where the good waves were. The water was cool against your skin. Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looks perfect today. It does. That's a good picture. Look at the water. He smiled at you, and you couldn't help but smile back. You felt totally content. Aww. Until Cove kicked water a little too hard and inadvertently splashed you. Moment ruined. Hey. Did I hit you? Sorry. You could tell he really did feel bad you getting caught. Felt bad you had gotten caught in the crossfire. Yeah, he wouldn't do that on purpose. You splashed him back, or you let it go? We'll let it go. Because he didn't mean it. And he apologized, so it's all good. You paddled a little further from Cove to get away from the splash zone. With that, Cove started telling you all the tips and tricks of how to stay on the surfboard. He demonstrated both good and bad posture and explained where you need to put your weight. Like this. You wiggled your body so that you were more in the center of your board. Cove nodded. Yep, just like that. The little lesson continued and... Things clicked with you quickly. It had to go slowly, but you got it. You kind of struggled, or it was disastrous. It was disastrous. Oh, it's funny. No, we're not going with that one, but it's funny. We'll go with this one. Cove did his best to guide you through the process, and by the end you felt you had picked up the basics of surfing. Occasionally, he reached out and touched you to more directly help get in position. It felt nice. Oh no, they're touching hands. It's getting serious. But if you acknowledged... But if you acknowledged you noticed his touch at all, he would instantly pull away. He's so shy. Since you spent so much time working on balance and stable water, you wondered if you actually get to catch some waves. You brought it up to Cove and he nodded. If you think you're ready, go for it. You'll do great. Aw, he'd be a good teacher. Alright. With that, you graduated from Cove's class, and the two of you were able to surf together more casually, even if he was still better at it. What an afternoon. Ooh, isn't that pretty? The setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. You knew you should get out of the water before it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach. Then you picked up your surfboard and gave it one quick once-over. Cove followed behind you to the shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel to start drying off. As he ruffled his hair with his towel, you watched the sunset together. The colors were beautiful in the distance, and the shadows around you deepened. There was no need for words between you two as you both enjoyed the sight at the moment. Cove broke the silence. The waves were good today, I think. Yeah, totally. I guess. Perfect for surfing. Did you really think so? He nodded mildly. Excuse me. You chatted a little bit more until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sound of waves. Then Cove sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. Excuse me. He scowled into the difference as if the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. You know it's a good day when you don't want it to end. Don't you think it should be longer? Yeah, it felt long enough to me. Or only a shrug could express your feelings on the matter. Dang. Cove stood up straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. Cove was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Good point. Wetsuits were fine for the beach, but not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around town either. You'll be cute in that wetsuit wherever you go. Well, I need to call it a night. Yeah, I want to do something too. Or, we'll sure be welcome anywhere soaking wet like this. Oh, sarcasm. Hello, sarcasm, my old friend. I like to tease him. Cove's eyes and ears flushed red as he looked down and inspected himself. He crossed his hands over his chest self-consciously. He had been so used to wearing it that Cove hadn't given his current choice of dress any thought. At least that was before you pointed it out to him. Well, you would too, so, well, thank you for the compliments. Cove's eyes widened when he processed what he had just said and awkwardly decided to give up on the whole thing. Oh, it's okay, buddy. Then he looked down at the shore with wide, shining eyes. There's at least one place that's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is, the park. See, he tried to change the subject. We know what's going on. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times had changed. She used to be so protective of the place. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid again. Ugh, I don't like him. You brought up the idea to Cove and he cringed, but I'm still going. The sun is still there a little, and I'm staying out as late as it is. You tagged along or you went home? We're going with him. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all, though didn't take much care to shake the sand off. You dealt with your own things. You stuffed everything quickly together, or you took your time to pack your bag? We'll stuff together. He's running ahead of us, so let's just get going. I'm done, Cove. He rolled his eyes with a bent smile at the announcement. He led the way down the beach to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you long. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared yet when you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over top. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The sun breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown up in the past few years. You could barely use the monkey bars yourself. There wasn't much space at all between you and the ground. When he got to the bar in the middle, Cove pulled himself up and through, and then sat on top of the bars. His legs dangled off the side of the bar he perched on. You joined him on the monkey bars, you stood nearby, or took a seat on the swing. We're gonna join him. Without Cove's height advantage, getting up there was more difficult, but you made it. You climbed on the side of the monkey bars and pulled yourself to the top. You settled yourself in between two of the slats. The skinny metal wasn't the most comfortable thing to sit on, though you enjoyed the height it gave you. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Don't speak too soon, he might show up. Right, it's true, there wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was going to be the two of them tonight. Cove hung his head and groaned dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up. I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. Whoa, where's this coming from? Oh, maybe he's joking. He's got one eye closed. You were taken aback and blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. Oh. I was like, what? Haha, don't scare me like that one. Jeremy's enough. That's not really nice. Funny, but not nice. You don't have to tease him. Parents don't know anything. Cove chuckled back at you, amused. You looked around. The old park, the streets you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach, these were your stomping grounds. You wonder how Cove actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke, and how much was sincere dislike of this place? Moving had never been his choice. Do you actually like this neighborhood? I know you don't think it's dumb, or you let the silence stretch between you two. Let's ask him what he really thinks. Do you really have to ask that, Jamie? Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dingled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. Well, that's good, because I think the last time we asked him that, he said something more unpleasant. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was his genuine opinion. Well, that's good, but it's because we're here. We helped him have a good childhood. Yeah, I like it too. Well, at least one person likes it here. Dang. You nodded wordlessly. Well, of course, I'm here after all. Or you're the best thing in the neighborhood, Cove. Aww. Cove flushed and started kicking his legs wildly like he was running in place. I like teasing him. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone and it was dark. You chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. We better get home. I wish days were longer, or you chose to say nothing. I wish this day was longer. His feet kicked out. It made him look like a pouty child. Oh well, he's got pretty eyes. Cove Side, it was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey bars with a thump when his feet hit the ground. You clambered down to the monkey bars yourself. You lowered yourself more slowly than Cove and barely made a sound when your feet reached the ground. Cove grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water ball in hand, he was ready. You both began to trek up the road. It was a quiet night, and you didn't run into anyone else. And when it felt like no time at all, you had reached your street. As you walked, Cove smiled to himself. It was a soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Everything all right? I just remember when we were little. It used to be such a big deal to come home after dark. You could indeed recall. If you got sandy, your parents would have something to say. If you got wet, your parents would have something to say. And if you came home after dark, well, your moms and his dad better have said it was okay beforehand. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you really had this summer. Cove looked up into the sky, a smile still on his face as the two of you walked side by side reminiscing. When you came to your houses, you turned to each other. Bye. Bye. It was nice seeing you. This was definitely an interesting experience. Yep, or thanks for the awesome day. Cove waved and you both turned around to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. And that's it for Away. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel to know when videos come out. And I'll see you next time when we see what growing has to do. But until next time, peace out, everybody.